And here's our question of the day for you, and we're asking you this morning, with level 2 lockdown restrictions allowing more sectors of the economy to operate, what are you still cautious about? What is it that you're not quite comfortable getting back to at this stage? Please let us know at Morning Live SABC, #Morning Live.
All right, let's get into the stories of the day and what's on the diary for this Wednesday. The Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture is expected to continue hearing evidence relating to the Free State asbestos project when it resumes this morning.
Power utility Eskom will resume with stage 2 load shedding from 9 a.m. and that will run until 10 p.m. tonight. Eskom re-implemented stage 2 yesterday afternoon, warning that the power system was severely constrained.
All right, let's look at your numbers now. The figures released by the Health Ministry last night. The cumulative number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in South Africa, 592,144. Total number of deaths is at 12,264. A total of 485,468 people have since recovered from these numbers, which means that, look at that, dropping below 100,000 is the active cases. We're now at 94,412.
A 23-year-old man arrested for the murder of 2 women in Limpopo is today expected to appear at the Thohoyandou Magistrates Court, and this follows the discovery of the bodies of a 90-year-old woman and her 54-year-old daughter in their home on Sunday.
And here are your numbers for any information you need on coronavirus. It's the government 24-hour hotline 0800 029 999 and the WhatsApp number 0600 123 456.
And let's take a look now at that provincial breakdown of the numbers, and this is what we are looking at this morning. Just waiting for that particular map to come up, and here it is. Gauteng standing at 200,949 cases. KwaZulu-Natal 106,565. The Western Cape has 102,739 positive COVID-19 cases. Looking at the Eastern Cape, 84,144. Free State 32,593, Northwest 23,445, Mpumalanga standing at 21,717, Limpopo 11,813, and the Northern Cape 8,129. The total number of tests conducted is at 3,430,347.
All right, this is the 7 days now, and this is interesting. We haven't done this in quite some time, so I'm sure you'll enjoy having a look at those numbers now. You can see the recoveries, how far they've come from last week, Wednesday. 432,029 is where we were at, and now we're at 485,468. That's the recoveries in this past week. You can see them climbing quite substantially. The deaths, unfortunately, we're recording from 11,010 last Wednesday up to 12,264. That's the latest number that we have. The new cases, well, look at those numbers that have been, very much so hovering around, the 6,000 was the most that we had, 6,275 cases. That was on Friday, last Friday, but then we've just seen them dropping substantially. So 2,500 is what we reported yesterday. No, I beg your pardon, 2,258, I beg your pardon. Quickly on the global side, the confirmed coronavirus cases is 22 million. We saw that was going to happen yesterday as the numbers were growing. 14 million people have recovered so far, and the death toll is sitting at 777,000 worldwide. South Africa is still sitting in the top 5, though, with its amount of infections. I know Peru is coming up very fast and furiously behind it, but that's something to watch as well. The US still battling with huge numbers being reported, but I must say India are really the ones now that seem to be struggling, with just 55,000 reported yesterday alone. They have 2.7 million confirmed cases, but a lot of recoveries at that as well.
Let's move on to those trending topics now. Schools reopening, and of course this as we are trying to get back to some semblance of normalcy, normal life, and whatever that means post-COVID-19. And Leanne, you were saying you've actually noticed in your area that schools are in full effect, it would seem.
Very much so. I mean, I've seen a lot of the public schools around my area that have reopened, and I see the kids going in, and they're not necessarily just the matrics or the grade 7s. It looks like other grades as well. And I have heard stories of some schools that have said they're ready and they want to keep going, and they're not going to sort of wait until the official date towards the end of August. So I'm not sure. If you'd like to confirm it, please do. But I see that that's what a lot of people are speaking about on social media when they come to schools reopening. But the real concerns are the ones that are not COVID compliant and the ones that have been under the spotlight the entire time. So let's hope that everything is ready once the schools do resume at the end of the month.
Next up, hashtag Minnie, and this is Minnie Dlamini Jones posting a picture yesterday, and she was talking about her Bantu knots, and that's the wrong picture. And she had put up a picture about her with Bantu knots and calling them ghetto, and that of course got the Twitterati
oh wow,
all hot and bothered, like, ghetto, really? You know, so that's why Minnie, I should say rather, is trending for those Bantu knots. Okay. And those are not Bantu knots.
Okay, no, they didn't look like it. But ghetto, I don't know about that. I love them. All right, Mali is also trending. And this is one, I mean, goodness me. I mean, we still are watching what's happening in Belarus. Now moving on to the African continent, we see what's happening in Mali. And, you know, what we saw as a developing story, it's still a developing story, but what we saw unfolding was Mali's military basically staging a coup and arresting the country's president as well as their prime minister of weeks of unrest in that West African nation. So some very scary visuals coming out of there. I think there was one even in a swimming pool. I'm not sure if you saw that one, Sakina. I was looking at it last night. There was something happening in a swimming pool, and I don't know if they went into the residence of the president or prime minister, the people. I'm not sure, but this was just the nation saying they've had enough, and very similar to what happened in Belarus and still happening in Belarus as well.
And as you say, it is a developing story. The latest from Mali is that the president, Ibrahim Boubacar Keita, has now resigned. So, as you say, mutiny there by the soldiers, and they had detained the president and the prime minister, but they have now subsequently resigned. Parliament has been dissolved. So that's what's happening in Mali at the moment.
So that pool story, I know I'm eating into the news, we've got to get there, but I did bring it up. So apparently it's visuals of Mali protesters having a pool party at the president's son's house after the coup. It's insane. It really is. It's crazy what's happening there. Anyway, that's social media. We just thought we'd wrap that up for you.
Okay. All right, let's bring you latest news at 7.